Hey everyone, this is Matthew Kent, and I've just finished my first month of bullet journaling. Woohoo! So here's the deal. It's been a good month, and I just wanted to record a quick video that gave you basically the 10 biggest lessons that I've taken away from my first month. So wherever you are in your bullet journaling, hopefully these will be encouraging to you and useful to you. And so let's just get right into it. Number one, just picking a system and sticking with it is helpful, useful, fruitful. I remember getting one comment on a past video from a girl who was saying that her husband or her boyfriend, I can't remember which one, is just a mess, right? He's got stuff on notebooks, he's got stuff on just random scraps of paper around, and that was me. And I, tried to get some stuff into Google Calendar, and some stuff was in Evernote, and some stuff was, on these random notebooks, and it was just a hot mess. When you are forced to organize everything into one system and forced to rack your brain to come up with things for your monthly task list and for your daily logs and all of these sorts of things, it just all starts to bring everything together and make you more organized. So I went from a completely disorganized person to a mostly organized person. Here's the deal. I still got a long way to go, but the amount of progress that I've made in a month is staggering. So it worked for me. It definitely can work for you. If you're thinking about bullet journaling, I encourage you to start your journey. Just picking something, a system, and sticking with it is going to have huge, huge benefits for you. The number two lesson that I've learned is that it's really helpful to have 3 levels to look at. And so what I mean is, if you're familiar with the bullet journal system, there's 3 sort of main parts. You have the future log, which is where you can look at, it's the future at a glance, 6 months into the future, 1 year into the future, and it's really helpful for, big picture, getting yourself organized, brainstorming, when could we do this? Oh, hey, there's going to be this holiday. What are we going to do for that holiday? And then you have the monthly log, which is really, I think, where your primary task list lives. You have a list of tasks and you look at the month and you say, where can some of these go? This is a weekend project. Well, that weekend's free. Maybe we'll do that here. Some of these I could knock out, just sort of small daily tasks. Maybe I'll put those in a weekday and a morning, and you start to do that kind of organization. Your daily task list is where you pull out the most important things, the things that you need to do to win the day, and you get at them. And so having these 3 levels is really helpful. It helps you be really productive. It's the difference between just being busy and being productive is that you're able to look at a big task list, identify the core components, the things that you need to do to win the day, and pull those out. Those are the priority. Nothing else is on your list of concern for that day, basically. The number 3 lesson that I've learned is the actual task of writing out a daily log. I thought this was going to be repetitive and annoying. It's actually incredibly helpful. Here's the deal. Writing stuff on paper just reinforces in your brain what you have to do. And also, in writing out the daily task log, it's like completing a task. You have a daily task to write out this daily task log. And so if you get it done, you've gotten done a task that day, and it helps you build momentum. And it sounds silly, but sometimes a lot of people I've heard will have for their first task of the day or maybe their last task at night leading into the next day, you just have a small, simple, easy step that you can knock out of the park just so you feel accomplished, just so if it's in the morning, you build that momentum, or at evening, you keep that momentum going into the next day. And I think that's true. Personally, and this leads me into point number 4, I've preferred writing out my daily task list instead of the morning of the day that I'm working on. I write it out the night before. So last night I wrote out the daily task list for today, and the reason I think this is so helpful is because it allows you to pre-visualize your day. So, in other words, it's really easy to blow stuff off if you don't feel like it. You wake up and you say, okay, what do I want to get done today? And you start writing out your task list, and then you realize, I'm just not in a good mood, and you just blow it off. If you have it written out the night before, then before you go to bed, and I think sleep's a powerful component in this, before you go to bed, you can be looking at this and you can think to yourself, okay, I am going to wake up at 7 a.m. tomorrow and record that video. That was on my task list today. I didn't really want to wake up at 7 o'clock to record this video. But here we are. The task list works. So I think it's really helpful to do it the night before, pre-visualize your day. The number 5 lesson I've learned, the gratitude log is a treasure. So here's the deal. I think as human beings, a lot of times we can look at our lives and sometimes the negative sticks out to us way more than it should, and the positive just goes by the wayside and we forget about it. The gratitude log, every bit of it has been true. I haven't had to force anything. I just reflect on my day, find things I'm able to be grateful for. And what I've found, even as I'm looking back on the month before, is that I would have forgotten a lot of these things. A lot of these things would have been just, nice little memories for a few days, and then they would have gone away. And going back, I'm able to revisit them, put myself in a really positive place, and I think it's just a good habit for everyone to have. I'm looking forward to keeping these bullet journals forever, right? So as soon as I fill this bullet journal up, I'm going to go buy another one, and I'm not going to throw this one away. I'm going to keep it. The brain dumps are incredibly useful. A lot of good nuggets there that I want to hang on to. And like I said, the gratitude log is a gold mine. I am not going to let that thing get away. So I'm going to keep an archive of that forever. And I like having the physical copy. I guess I could just take a picture of it, but I like having the physical copy. You can remember when I wrote that down. I encourage everyone to have a gratitude log. Point number 6, the habit tracker is brutally honest. I did a video about the habit tracker. It was actually my first ever bullet journal video. I'll link to it below, where I talked about how helpful the habit tracker was, and it's true, in keeping you accountable and making you do your daily habits, making you get them done and execute them. And I think it's definitely true. I think overall, out of the things that I want to be daily habits and part of my everyday, I got way more done this month than I would have without the habit tracker. But at the same time, there were clearly some things that fell by the wayside. The big offender here is exercise. I thought for sure, oh yeah, I'll exercise, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a month at least. 2. I exercised 2 times this month. And one of them was in direct response to that habit tracker video where somebody called me out and he said, you haven't exercised at all this month and the month's half over and get on it. So the very next day, I went and I did 3 sets of 10 burpees and I recorded it. It's on YouTube. I'll link to it below. And just as a response to being called out from that bullet journal habit tracker, so exercise did not go well. I did not win that area. But it lets me know that for August, for next month, for those of you watching this in the future, I've got to do better with exercise. Maybe I've got to plan it out a little bit more and not just, because I didn't really plan it out that much this month. So maybe I've got to plan it out and make that a priority to make sure that I get it done. Lesson number 7 that I've learned, it's okay to take days off. Here's the thing. You don't want to take too many days off because anytime that you're trying to build a new habit, to do something new like bullet journaling and to stick with it, if you lose too much momentum, you're going to quit. You're just going to quit and you need to recognize that. But at the same time, I believe in rest. And I think a good amount would be 1 day a week to take off, right? If you have a pattern, I think this applies to things besides bullet journaling, besides just forming a habit. If you have 6 days on, 1 day off, 6 days work, 1 day rest, it's a good sort of natural habit to get into that'll keep you refreshed, keep you well rested, keep you energized for doing the things that you think you need to do. I've taken probably 4 or 5 days off this month. I could actually look because the record is there. But we went on a little mini vacation to the beach one weekend and I didn't bring my bullet journal. There's been a couple Saturdays that I didn't do it. I think moving forward, I'd like to make it my goal to do it every day but Saturday and just have Saturday be sort of a mental break for me. So it's okay to take days off. Number 8 lesson that I've learned is that this system is most useful to people who actually need to prioritize, right? So you've got a lot of lists that, or a lot of tasks on your list that you need to get done. You're just busy for whatever reason, whether you just do a lot of projects around the house or whether you're an entrepreneur or whatever, and you need help, prioritizing these. This system is for you, and it's not really for someone, and no offense, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. You go to your 8 to 5 job and you come back home and you watch Netflix and then you go to sleep and you do it again the next day. The core aspects of the bullet journal I don't think are going to do anything for you, the actual organizational system, although I still recommend it. I think the gratitude log, the brain dump, these are all really helpful things. And maybe if you're the person who wants to move from that sort of Netflix watching, not really getting anything done, to getting more things done, it could be a helpful start. But before you waste your money and going out there and buying a journal, I recommend just thinking about, like, am I the kind of person who really needs this? Number 9 is that lesson that I've learned is that the brain dump is amazing. Here's the deal. You just need to get things out of your brain and onto paper. And there's a lot of reasons for this. Number 1, you can forget things that are in your brain. Number 2, ideas that need to be actionable, you can let go by the wayside. For some reason, it's easier to build on an idea once it's on paper. You put it on paper, you realize what you need to change about the idea, how you need to evolve it, and eventually you get it into a form in your brain dump where you can move it over to your task list. It becomes something that you can execute, and you're able to just knock it out and get it done. There's like a weird accountability that happens of writing something out, that you're more likely to do it, I think. And this is just anecdotal evidence. I don't have the hard facts on this. You're more likely to do it if it's on paper than if it just stays in your head. So I think a brain dump is incredibly useful, and that's the way I use brain dump. A real brain dump session is, sort of like a session where you write down everything, don't filter it at all, just good ideas, bad ideas, whatever. I more just kind of use it as like a running log, putting things down that I am thinking about, and incredibly helpful that way. Either way you use it, it's incredibly helpful, I think, something I'd recommend everybody does, whether or not you bullet journal, but it goes just really well, integrates with the bullet journaling system. Number 10, final one. It is so satisfying to create something from nothing. Now, here's the deal. I know I steal a lot of my bullet journaling ideas from other people. That's true. But no two bullet journals are the same. And one of the cool things about the bullet journal is it's flexible, so that means you can create it, evolve it, adapt it each month to suit your own needs and get it closer and closer to your perfect or your ideal organizational system. But the other thing that's cool about it is you're not following a template that's already on the page. Even if you take somebody else's template for how to organize your spread, you still have to sit there and actually write it out. And like I said, no two bullet journals end up being the same, so a lot of your personality goes into this journal. And it's one of the reasons I love creating YouTube videos too, is because it's so exciting to create something from nothing. Right? This video wouldn't exist if I didn't sit down here and shoot it, and these 10 points, these exact 10 points would never be organized in this way. But hey, I did it. I created something from nothing, very satisfying, applies to the YouTube videos as well as the bullet journal, so get at it. Here's a bonus for you, number 11, it's really helpful having a buddy. Makes all the difference in the world. So my buddy is my wife, Sarah, my beautiful wife, Sarah. So I mentioned in a previous video that I really only did the bullet journal because she was excited about it, and so I wanted to join her in this journey. That's what it is. I call it our bullet journal journey, and you'll hear me use that phrase a lot. And it's been wonderful. She and I bounce ideas off each other. We show each other what we're working on. We encourage each other. I've stolen a few ideas from her. Hers is much better. I'll probably do a video going over hers, because hers is much better, much prettier than mine. She's got some cool features that I don't have. And but it's been so amazing just having her to go through this journey with. And some of my friends have been receptive and they've listened a bit, because the thing is, I geek out and I just want to talk about what I'm doing when I get on a kick like this. And thank you, the internet, by the way, because you've been the perfect audience to talk to, because I just need to talk about the things that I'm excited about. And sometimes my friends aren't quite excited about them, so they don't want to listen. I love my friends. This is not anything negative against them. I'm the weirdo here, not them. So I love having an audience. I can't believe you're watching. I can't believe you've made it this far in the video if you are watching. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully one of these 10 or really 11 tips speaks to you. Hopefully this video has been useful to you. Hopefully if you haven't started your bullet journal journey, this will inspire you to start. And I really hope that it's fruitful for you, useful to you, and that you just have a great time on your bullet journal journey. Take care.